Would you want a marriage over something that happened years ago? I've been thinking about this since Sunday night, and I need some perspective. What my husband told me has left me feeling hurt and confused, even though it happened years ago. I don't know if I'm overreacting or if this is something I can move past. 7 years ago, when I was 21, I had been dating my now husband, Paul, then 31, for over a year. At the time, he got a great job opportunity in Canada with his company. He wanted me to move with him right away because he didn't want to continue our long distance relationship. However, I was still in university and wanted to finish my degree first. We decided to try long distance, even though it was tough. During one of his visits back home from Canada, we went on a ski trip at a resort he booked for us. On that trip, I realized I had forgotten to pack my birth control pills, BCP. When I told Paul, he said it wasn't a big deal and went out to buy condoms instead. The rest of the trip is blurry because we drank quite a bit during those few days together. A few weeks later, however, I found out that I was pregnant. I felt like an idiot for not being more careful, but Paul was incredibly supportive. He told me he would be there for me and the baby no matter what. We got married quickly at the courthouse so we could start building our life together as soon as possible. I dropped out of school just 1 year shy of graduating because moving forward seemed more important at the time. We moved to Canada together, where Paul started his new job. It was overwhelming, but also exciting to begin this new chapter of our lives. Over time, things started falling into place. Paul turned out to be an amazing husband and father. He helped around the house and supported me through everything. We decided to try for another baby when our first child turned 3, but sadly, it ended in stillbirth. After that, we experienced multiple miscarriages and realized I wouldn't be able to carry another pregnancy to term. Now, years later, I've gone back to school in a different field and am doing well overall. But last weekend, something Paul said completely changed how I see him. We were cuddling on the couch watching Netflix when Paul casually said, "Getting you pregnant was the smartest thing I've ever done." At first, I laughed it off and joked that it was technically my fault for forgetting my BCP. But then he admitted something shocking. "Well, technically no, I threw them away and made you think you forgot them. And I never used condoms either. You were too drunk to notice." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. He explained that he wanted me to move with him and thought this was the best way to make sure we stayed together. He said he believed there wasn't much of a future for me in our small town and wanted me to have a better life, a house, a family, and opportunities in Canada. Hearing this made me feel completely betrayed. All these years, I thought he had stepped up when life threw us an unexpected curveball. But now I realize he manipulated me into this life without giving me a choice. What if I didn't want kids at that time? What if I had other plans? He made those decisions for me without telling me. My sister thinks what he did was wrong, but says it all worked out in the end. I have a stable life now with a loving husband and child, so she doesn't think it's worth breaking up our family over something stupid he did years ago. But I can't shake this feeling of anger and betrayal. How do you move on from something like this? Update 2 days later. Thank you all for your honest feedback. It really helped me process what happened and figure out how to move forward. After taking some time to calm down, I had a long conversation with my husband about everything. He seemed surprised by how upset I was over this and admitted that what he did back then was stupid, but insisted it wasn't meant to hurt me or control me maliciously. He explained that he felt frustrated with our long-distance relationship at the time and acted impulsively because he wanted us to have a future together. He pointed out how much effort he's put into our life since then, raising our child together, supporting me as I went back to school after our losses, and being there through all the hard times we've faced as a couple. I told him that what hurts the most is feeling like my choices were taken away from me back then. He apologized again, but said he never meant for things to turn out this way or for me to feel betrayed now. I also brought up therapy because I feel like there's so much anger inside me that I don't know how to deal with on my own. Paul agreed that therapy could help, but suggested that some of my feelings might also be tied to unresolved grief from losing our second baby and experiencing multiple miscarriages afterward. He encouraged me to talk to our family doctor about depression as well. For now, my plan is to focus on therapy and see where it takes us. It's hard not knowing if things will ever feel normal again or if trust can be fully rebuilt, but I'm willing to try for myself and for our family.